Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's in the evening. It's almost 10:58. It's almost 11 o'clock. Today, I've never been so stressed and doing so much in one single day. Today is Monday, but it feels like Sunday because I didn't go out. I haven't gone out at all. I didn't step anything outside the door. I was sitting on the window doing the work. So that's the window. I only can see it's pretty dark, but I was sitting on the window and just doing the work. So having gone out for the whole entire day. So today is Monday, March, I believe it's March 9. So it's the second week of the month, and we are pretty much about knocking out the month. So I have a midterm for my big data class, and the professor's he gave us the data to work on, and then it's three data I have to build, and I have to use this data to predict, right? Build the machine learning model to predict whatever housing market or something like that, right? However, I didn't know it was going to be this hard. He mentioned it's going to be really hard, but I didn't really feel it's going to be really hard. So today I woke up at 10 a.m. It was sunny. It was very nice outside. It was like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and I wanted to go out because this feels so good to go out and make a video outside. But from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. all I did was simply cleaning the data. That's what I did. I even though there were some videos from his videos that he recommended to use, so I watched his videos that was to follow for the data analysis and cleaning it. It was still hard. Like, it took me 5 hours to just clean the data. That's all I did, just clean the data. The data was messy, it was big, and please do not rely on AI to do the data. Like, the AI is so stupid. Like, it was not helpful. Okay, it did work. Like, if I ask AI, can you clean the data for me, the AI will simply just give you the code to clean it, but the code wasn't necessarily matching what I need, right? Like, I was looking for specific. I don't know if I'm supposed to share this because this is the midterm. Okay, I don't think I'm supposed to share this for the case of the schools terms and policies, but the point is that the things that I needed to get accomplished from the professor's perspective in his midterm question is, the AI was giving me a bunch of data that was not really helpful. So I had to sit down and do everything manually, updating it, and it took me 5 hours. When I finished that, I had homework to get it done, even though today is spring break, so there's no school today, no school tomorrow, the whole week. Professor from international trade, he still assigned homework, even though maybe to him it sounds like it's not too hard, because maybe I guess he thought that I'm taking the only class for his class, but because of big data class, it took a chunk of time, and by the time I did his homework, I was exhausted. I was really tired. I couldn't feel it. I was really tired. I ended up getting because the homework, you do it and you get graded right away, so you get grades. And I tried to think in the top of my head, I could not. My brain was burned out, so I ended up getting 87% out of the 100%. So technically I didn't do well, and especially on the graphs requires you to think. And then after that, I had to do a research proposal. Previously, for this class, the national trade class, I wanted to study the economy of Vietnam, but I feel like I'm already doing too much for international study. I'm doing Uganda already, I need to focus more on the United States, right? Because of the geopolitics. I need to focus more on the US side, because if I get a job, it's going to be very helpful. Like Americans, they don't care if you say, I studied Vietnam, like they don't care. Uganda, they might say, okay, you're from there, so it makes sense. But like, so I was trying to study US, but I had only like an hour and a half or 2 hours to figure out which research paper proposal to study. So I came up with pharmaceuticals, right? Like the new trending. I thought about tariffs all the time, so I was like, let me study tariffs. Even though it sounds like easy, just do research paper on tariffs. Graduate program paper is not the same thing. It's not a PhD paper, but also it's not like an undergrad or high school paper, right? So you have to think more deeply. So you can't just write about like the how bad or good tariffs are, right? So I had to be more specific. I wanted to study the alumnus paper, the steel industry, specifically to 0775 alloys, aluminum alloys. I'm really tired, can't even remember. Aluminum alloys. That specific metal is very crucial to the US economy, and because of Trump's tariffs from 2018, even 2025, that metal has been affecting the prices on the market, including automobiles. If you go for rock climbing, those metals that they use to attach on the rocks, those metals are made from aluminum alloys, specifically from the 7075 alloy code. Then the airlines uses that. Right now there's a war in Ukraine, and also there's war in Middle East. The bombs, those airplanes that you see that flying on US airspace, I mean the Middle Eastern airspace, those boats, big ships, those vehicles, armored vehicles, those the rockets that they are launching, they're all built by 7075 aluminum alloys. Because the US is the leading manufacturer of these products around the world, the US is the leading manufacturer of all the highest strategic equipments in the whole world. That includes heavy equipments like airplanes and these weapons. The manufacturer in US does not meet the demand, so US is forced to import from outside, and the largest exporter, the largest importer to the United States is Canada. Canada imports up to 40% of this steel, aluminum. But recently, as China took over with the highest manufacturing companies, they wanted to gain the market to the US. They want to gain the US market, but the US has for national security reasons, US does not allow China to ship direct. Does not allow China to ship directly these metals to the US for national security reasons. So because of that, China, instead of negotiating, they shifted to manufacture. They will import these metals to Canada, then try to change them to look legit, look like American brand, then ship them to the United States. So part of the Trump administration has been to impose tariffs to combat the Canadian and the Mexico also export some to the US manufacturer, to show that Mexico does, to show that Canada does ensure that they are not being manipulated by China. being used by China to gain the US market. I'm very tired. So that was my interest. Then I realized it's much deeper, and also it's hard to find a paper. Out of paper that I found that are related to the economics, they were more toward this like 1980s, 1970s, how the aluminum alloys affected the economy, and there hasn't not been any recent data or any recent study. There are other studies that talks about automobiles effects or agricultural effects, right? Those people are fine, except that I am not interested in studying that, right? There are many automobile studies. So trying to think about something else, and I was thinking about something else, and I was like, what about I study the pharmaceutical industries, right? I mean, this is the only opportunity I have in a graduate program to study about something that I never thought about, right? Like right now I'm studying about Uganda. I never have thought about studying about Uganda, right? So yes, so I'm going to be studying about the pharmaceutical industry, but under Trump administration, even both before UMCA agreements and even now UMCA agreements, because there's gonna be new USMCA agreement coming up in July, like a review coming up in July. The Trump administration tariff does not affect pharmaceutical industries, does not affect US pharmacies. However, the growing demand, so I'm making bread. I'm about to make bread. I'm about to bake, and I don't have time to do that. I don't know if I'm going to finish this. But the pharmaceutical industries are still facing high prices. So why? Even though Trump administration does not target the U.S. pharmaceuticals, because there's a high demand in U.S. pharmaceuticals, so the Trump administration tariffs does not target those products. The FDA still consider drugs to be more expensive. So why? Because there is an indirect effect, right? So my goal was not to study. I cannot study how tariffs affects pharmaceutical industry, because there is no direct effects. There's only indirect effects, mostly linking to supply chain value, global chain value. So my conclusion that I want to study right now is how does the U.S. How does the tariffs that were imposed by the Trump administration, specifically the reciprocal tariffs back in April 2025, how did that indirectly affect pharmaceutical prices on the market, and then how does that link to other areas like pharmaceutical products, and how did that affect the PPI, the purchasing power index, purchasing product index, the employment rate, right? The IPI address, like the patents, because pharmacies have the highest amount of research patents in the United States. So that has a direct effect. So that's what I'm going to be studying on, and I hope that will be effective. So right now, as I come here on camera, I just finished working on that. It's the last thing I worked on. I did not have any time to look on the screen, to look on the bottom, or anything like that. I did not stretch. Just sit on the table the whole day. Okay. And remember, I gotta get these things done. I gotta get at least the paper done. I need to get the data done by the end of this week. Like this week, I need to make sure that the data for all the classes, all my paper is done. Okay, the data for data science is done. The data for public finance is done. The data for international economics is done, and the data for energy economics is done. So once I have that data cleaned and ready, then I can eventually sit down and write. Writing is easy. You have to do is just explain things. You can even use the AI to write. It's pretty easy. Right? The hardest part is taking the data. If you don't have the data that is cleaned and it's ready and it makes sense, no matter how many times you write, everything's gonna look like a garbage. Okay. So that being said, this is enough 15 minutes video. I didn't mean to spend too much time. It's already 10:15, so I need to go to take shower. The food is cooking. This is rice. I'm gonna make some soup in a few minutes because I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten. I've only drank some tea. That's what I did. So I did not cook. I didn't have time to cook. Very, very stressful situation right now. Then tomorrow I have to wake up in the morning at 7:30 for a workshop. So quick tip if I go. I was mixing up my yeast. This is the yeast, but I forgot to put the sugar in it, and I think when I have the same problem last time, but I did not remember. So I mix the yeast, I put it in here, and I go in there, do some work. Then 10 minutes later I come back, the yeast has not yet risen up, has not yet gone up, and I mix again, and I go back, I wait for 10 minutes, I come back, the yeast is not yet risen, and I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm mad, because my body is really tired. When I say I'm tired, I'm really tired. So I come back, I stare, I feel like throwing away because it's not raising up, and I come up with an idea. Why don't you, did you add the sugar? I'm like, I did not. So I put the sugar in there, and I stir again, and here it is. Now the yeast is activated. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it. Because I have a few seconds to get this done. I don't know if I'm gonna be cooking the whole night, so I'm gonna be sleeping while I'm cooking. So I'm trying to make some bread called hara bread. I eat this bread every single time. So I gotta get this done. So I'm gonna add a few oil in there. That's probably enough, actually. Yeah, that's enough. And then I'm gonna add an extra amount of I'm gonna add a few honey. I'm tired, I cannot speak, cannot eat, I'm hungry, I cannot buy food, everything's closed right now because I'm cooking as well, so now I need to cook some food. But this is the life of doing school. In case you don't know, now you know. So second thing to do is grab some eggs. Grab some eggs here. What am I doing? I'm gonna destroy my eggs, and it's gonna be ugly, very, very ugly if I don't become careful. So that's it for the general politics in general. When it comes to the US with Iran has chosen a new leader, a new supreme leader already. They have apologized to their neighbors, which was not a good idea to attack their neighbors. They could have attacked the United States, but not attack their neighbor. That was stupid on their side. the oil prices. So I mentioned how this is going to affect the oil prices. Oil prices have gone down eventually, so it's no longer expensive as far as I read earlier in the news from the Yahoo News. The oil prices have gone down to from $125 per barrel to like $80, something like that. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I read the news. So that means that there's some good news that Iran will not affect the oil market on the market. There will not be direct effect, especially on the US oil market, oil prices. Do I like this? I don't think so. I'm not celebrating anything. I know the leaders. I'm not celebrating the, what? My brain is not working properly. So mixing some bread here. Okay, that's it. So I need to pound this bread and then keep it for maybe, actually I'm gonna pound it and keep it until tomorrow. I'm not gonna bake right now. Maybe I should bake. Actually no, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm not gonna even cook. I'm not gonna even mix. I'm not gonna make any food. I mean, I have eggs here. I could cook some eggs, but I'm just gonna, Jesus Christ, I'm so tired, man. Should have, yeah, I'm just gonna mix. I don't even have power to mix this. I don't have energy to mix this. It's draining me. Usually when I don't eat and I do this heavy work, I get sick. So that being said, I'm just gonna mix this bread and then keep it in the fridge so that it doesn't rise up too high, because right now until tomorrow, because I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at around 6 or 6:30. So by the time I wake up, it's gonna be 6 hours. And 6 hours, the bread will rise really fast. It's gonna rise up much quicker, which can affect my bread. So I'm gonna probably not let it rise up. I'm just gonna, keep it. No, what am I saying? What am I talking about? What am I saying? I'm so confused. Fuck. Yeah, no, I'm gonna mix it and put it in the fridge. That's it. I'm not gonna bake. I'm not baking. No more baking. And also, I don't like to keep the rice the whole night. So I know I'm gonna do with this rice. It's a lot. Even though I'm hungry, I don't have any soup to eat the rice with. And maybe I could make. Let me see what I have here. Shit, I don't have anything in here. Yeah, nothing. I do have some beans. Maybe make some beans and some soup. I don't have potatoes. I don't have tomatoes. All right, I'll do what I can. Thanks for watching. If you're worried about the economy of the United States, just know that the prices on oil has gone down, so that's good news. And as soon as it went down, I'm trying to say, the stock market went up. Okay, so all right, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Like always, bye bye. Ciao ciao. Adios. Spasiba. Bye bye.